squared away there. A little history on the Elvis big. Elvis for right here, squared away. I don't know if you haven't gotten all the latest magazine released. Elvis Collector's Edition. This might help if you miss church next weekend. You know, throw this under the door before you get scolded because you missed church. Hint, parent to parents who miss church, grandkids. Okay. It might help to have one of these handy just in case baking don't work. Best church. Try to help you with that part. Squid away. Or at the mall shopping, you're waiting for somebody to come out of a store. You know, appearances are died to the law. Especially when you're doing one of these. Let's see, daisies. James Bond Transformers little shindig shampoo right here. Don't say you got it from me, however. Girlfriend will sit there and be like, does my chest look better than hers? Trick question. No, darling. You were just born beautiful. I was just admiring the talented handiwork of God himself. There you go. Squared away. And some squared away friends who, by the way, every single one of you who are in this magazine are always welcome at my home, supporting you all for years to come. And if you forget your clothes at the airport, I have a jacket for you to borrow. Hint borrow, which means you have to give it back sooner or later. Go Dallas. There's a few porters. So hopefully you don't lose your clothes at the airport like that movie Meet the Parents, the beginning scene where the luggage just doesn't fit and they have to check it. Put it away. Much love, Steno darling, Hannah Davis, and everybody else. Miss Firecracker, Chanel, Samantha, Lily. Hey, no. See who else? Everybody. Rose, Sonny, Darling Damsels, Ashley, Heidi, Tyra, Brandy, everybody, Emily, and so forth down the line. Darling Damsels. Here's looking at you, kid. Inspiration. How many knew when Elvis Presley was sworn in to be recruited at Fort Hood, Texas basic training? What year was that he was drafted? Not like he had a choice. 20-year-old singer sports a new look and serious expression as he leaves the barber shop at Fort Chaffee. One of the first orders of business the new recruit was having a famous locks given a buzz cut by barber James Pearson at Fort Chaffee when he was done. Elvis joked about his shorn head saying, hair today, gone tomorrow, and blew away a few loose strands below. What year was that? My father's a great listener of his. Anybody know? Anybody? I'll tell you, it wasn't far behind. Here's a few pointers. This is the same year, March 1957. 1958. Ta-da! That's him getting sworn in. 1958. Gets his haircut with the rest of the recruits. Moving right along. Big training in the But ironic how Army uniforms have changed since then, have they not? More rugged, squared away. Downs, darling. Right here, my shampoo for Dad. And one of these lying around for people to gaze upon while waiting on me. Playing Xbox, what have you. Or cooking at the same time. Looking at car magazines, etc., etc. Well, y'all take a knee. Say a few prayers here. I was thinking of what to say yesterday while recovering from being stuck in a snowstorm, sightseeing, came back home. That was some storm last weekend right here in Kentucky. y'all staying warm wherever you are, especially those in Afghanistan, Africa. I pray all you come home safe to those that love you, those that miss you, those that sacrifice just as much time as you do in the military, married to you, right down to your four-legged friends, your felines, those that have a cow pal because a certain soldier chief forgot to feed him or her before deploying. Wouldn't that have been nice? Good thing some of them have automatic feeders, huh? Or animal sitters. Hope to God you call one of them. Or Garfield has a major cow on your way back. Well, hey, be good away. Don't forget those that miss you. Oh Lord, thank you, Jesus, for looking out for me and my family. May you give me courage. Where I feel despair and loss, may you show me comfort and inspiration in my life. Oh Lord, may you watch over me and my family, those that miss me around the world. May you help me come home safe to those that need me, those that love me, those that sacrifice just as much time as me in the United States military branch. Oh Lord, where there is failure in morale, may you sow love. Where you show faith, hope, everything else that God gave bestowed upon me, that my parents bestowed upon me for the grace of God. May you help give me courage where there's lacking of conviction. May you help me show leadership skills in front of those that need me below my ranks. For when they come to my level, they'll understand where I'm coming from and why I'm so strict, so stern. I'm not just a hard-up fudge cake chef soldier like everybody thinks I am. I always tell it like it is. Oh, Heavenly God, thank you for looking out for me, my health, welfare, being, and those that are around me, especially a whole dang division. May you help those stationed and deployed in Africa come home safe to those that miss, and especially trying to fend off Ebola and everything else that's been long overdue for almost a century. Giving them a taste of hope, a taste of comfort, and a taste of peace. A bridge of friendship all over the world. Amen. Now I can get up now. Let's go to the Army Chief Dad right here. Supporting Fort Knox, Fort Campbell, and everybody else. All you military branches. Tonight I thought I'd go along with something that falls in line with reading the Bible. The good Lord, doing the good Lord's work right here, keeping morale going, being in charge of directing morale divisions. It's not an easy task, taking off where Jesus left off before he was put on that cross, knowing full well what it's like to be hung out to dry for no reason, while still supporting folks and keeping folks employed. That is what a bachelor dad does. That is what a friend does. I give advice because it's free. Care about y'all. The last thing I want you going home at the end of the day is doing one of these because nobody cares. Right? Wrong. If I didn't care about you, I wouldn't be pointing out one of these. Hello. See something, just have that sense of feeling, new in town, sense of loss of someone on the line of duty. You might want to help them out with one of these little pamphlets right here, square away. These people there's no such thing as a stupid question with them. They're just as family member oriented. It could be your aunt right next door, a nurse, or someone on call who know how to tell someone, hey, it's not a good idea to kill yourself. That's not what people want. That's not what somebody wants next to you. People care about each other. Real friends stand next to friends' side, regardless. They don't sit there and walk off when things get tough, or the tough get going. Even Elvis stood by people's side. John F. Kennedy, Martin Luther King Jr. Didn't see them quit anytime soon. I'm not giving up on you, so what makes me think I'm going to give up now? After all I've been through, care, bear, care. Deep big OC there, care, bear, care. Keep caring, never stop, never quit. God's never giving up on us, even in the season of Lent. What makes me think I'm going to stop now? Having said all that, that's with no script, by the way, no commercials. I tell it like it is. Heart goes out to everybody, all you actresses, actors, you diehards, Those who wait painstaking hours, 3 in the morning, sometimes a whole week, just to hear another phrase from my inspiration, something that will give them a new meaning to jump out of bed and take on the world. Granted, the whole world's outside. All you gotta do is look at that front door and open it. Take 2 steps out and breathe. That's you. If you can get out of bed, you are blessed. I mean, I don't have to be sitting there standing in front, 2 feet in front of a patient in a hospital bed, and I'll tell you to your face, it's not your time yet. I'll sit there and think, what do you mean? You ever seen Meet Joe Black, the movie? He's whispering to Anthony Hopkins, yes, not your time yet. I'm that kind of friend. Still got some more years in you, sir, ma'am. Honestly, gotta see something else. Not your time to leave for them heavenly clouds as you so thought. I'm the first one to tell it like it is. Maybe you could reach over that hallway down below, that stairwell below, and reach out to that little kid suffering from leukemia who could use a bedtime story from you while you're waiting. Because it's sure as hell not time today, not sure as hell it's not time tomorrow. Maybe not till next year. I guess you have to wait a while. Because I'm that kind of friend to tell you, your folks, your friends, and everybody else around you still needs you. Why else would they be praying so hard for one more year just to spend time with you, even at home? Rest assured their loving prayers didn't go unanswered. Especially you kids who miss their daddies and mommies. And I know it's not easy understanding why mommy and daddy have to go deploy, the word deployed alone, not just read in library books. Deploying is a very hard word to reach through a computer and want to hug a little child or daughter in need of a hug from a parent. And you all sacrifice so much time over there. It gets real emotional. Trust me, I know how it is. Again, you're speaking to a dad who hasn't seen his kid in almost 7 years and counting. I see him like maybe one time a year. It's work in progress. You know, it's titled "What's in it for me?" or you don't get to see your kid. That's all for immigration, and the rest I leave to God. But you know what? Sooner or later, he's going to be in my hands, and everything else is gravy. Knowing my own worth for a bachelor, there are women out there who would love to have a home southern raised dad who knows right from wrong and how to make a relationship work. It's just a matter of finding her. Hopefully she'll want more kids with the right person, somebody to come home to for once. And treat people like something to dust off and forget about on a trophy on the fireplace, knowing how that feels. As compassionate and understanding as she may be. Girl, in God's eyes, we're all equal, at least in mine. There are some of you out there who've never had parents, family members, relatives. You thought you could hide that secret in the barracks. You might want to wake up and smell the coffee next to you as someone who actually cares about you. They're dying to tell you in 3,000 words. You thought you were alone on the holidays? You might want to wake up and smell the coffee in there. Someone actually cares about you, not just on THX surround sound. Because nothing else seems to work with you, soldier. I tell it like it is. You thought you were alone? Now you can see them tears flowing, huh? Golly, Care Bear cares. Well, else we would not be coming home for the holidays while everybody else is. Thought that was a secret? You might want to wake up. I care about you. I wouldn't be going this far. I've had folks come up to me out of nowhere. I've never had parents. But if it weren't for you, sir, I wouldn't have made it this far. I've had divisions tell me that to my face. Why should someone younger than me have all the fun? Golly. It's nice to have loyal diehards out there who are younger than me, doing everything they can to help you folks to stay employed, keep going. God bless them. Never give up, never quit. That is a mission. That is a soldier. That is a friend. Somebody who's always there, day or night, ready to listen. Who casts ignorance aside, enjoys the company of friendship. Some even have the courage to knock on more doors. Here in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, supporting Fort Knox and everybody else. I always tell her like this for a bachelor dad. Because if I didn't do that, what kind of example of being an Air Force officer's son would I be in front of my own son? I have to lead by example, even through going out to nightclubs, places, hearsay, what have you, and trying them out. I'm going to put some family at risk or somebody I know without going to that restaurant first. You know, seeing is one thing, going there and tasting the food is another. I have to see it and then refer them. It's the rules. I mean, patience is a virtue. You just watch it on Food Network. God bless Dill's Kitchen chef, die hard to the core, and everybody else who are chefs, Paula Dean, everybody. Body Souffle, Iron Chefs, everybody. I support and keep employed to this day. Grandma bestowed upon me and made sure I was Mr. Betty Crocker. Before she passed away as an OR nurse, she made sure I knew how to cook, even at 3 in the morning. I'm going to go off and get ice cream. When I know how to bake a cookie, that'll make your mouth drool for more. Obviously, it was a much better way to distract a woman to give you another hour of playing Xbox. Might want to read up on that receipt book while you're deployed. That might be in order. Under dating material. Hence, the dating material. Gotta have something lying around for them to read while they're waiting on you to shower your hind part so you smell somewhat decent before going to a movie. How about them apples? Alright then, moving around. Today's inspirational story feasts a remembrance of God's salvation, His goodness to mankind. I think we all need inspiration in our lives by Chaplain Major George Bill Berry, 4th Cavalry, 1st Army Division East. It seems that there are times in our lives where we are so busily juggling responsibilities of work, home, and self that we don't remember what day it is. As a matter of fact, I am late in getting this article, and because I didn't realize what day it was. You and I can find comfort in knowing we are not alone. This forgetfulness has been going on for thousands of years because of mankind's forgetfulness. God instituted feasts for Israel to remember their salvation and God's goodness, and Psalm 81 is what we would call a festival song. A verse 2 alludes to it was sung as a hymn by Israel for the Feast of Trumpets. Rosh Hashanah, the celebration of Jewish New Year's, Leviticus 23-23 through 25, and the Feast of Booths. Sukkot, where each Israel family would construct a booth and live in it for a week to commemorate God's provision for them during their wilderness journey out of Egypt. How many even knew that? Leviticus 23 and Leviticus, the Bible 23-33 through 43. Psalm 81 contains 3 calls to the children of God. A call to rejoice in the present, 1 through 5. We can see the mood of excitement in community as people are singing, shouting it, and playing numerous instruments as with Israelites of old. We too can find reason to rejoice in the present. In a world that is filled with chaos and negativity, we can easily allow our outer circumstances to hinder our ability to find joy in the present. We have a reason to celebrate because of our identity in Christ as God's children. That identity is a reason to lift our voices in praise and celebrate God's deliverance of our souls from the bondage of sin and the new life we have in Christ. Israel rejoiced by knowing that it was not by their strength, but by that decree of God. That deliverance came the same manner we have not caused our deliverance to happen, but deliverance was given to us by the decree of God. A call to reflect on the past, 5 through 12. To properly rejoice in the present, we must reflect on the past. Nostalgia is not a bad thing. In fact, it is a good thing from which we try to learn. To learn, we must remember in God's call to His people. To remember so they will be reminded of God's grace. These verses are to remind Israel of God's deliverance out of slavery. And during this time of bondage, His grace for His people was more than sufficient. But then Israel's fresh with newfound freedom of bondage, God's Now, abundant God, now that they are free from the yoke of bondage, they quickly turn from the God of their salvation to false idols, and God in his judgments lets them go. Sometimes God's judgment on us is simply letting us have our way. God's people must remember that there are consequences to our actions. And when we rebel against God, those consequences do not go in our favor. God wants us to remember that so we will not fall from one type of bondage to the next. A call to respond to God in the future be 13 through 16. God wants Israel as well as you and I to remember. We're always in need of God's gracious provision when He wants His people to trust Him as He is our only God. He gives His desire for us. In these last verses, His path and the right path for us to walk, as He is the one who guides us safely through His life journey. He protects us from our enemies, and He wants to bless us with provision that is greater than we can imagine. Know that those characteristics of God, so that in the future we will not seek idols of our own, but we will trust God. Our decisions today to follow God impact our future circumstances. So how can we corporately be reminded today of God's goodness and salvation through Christ? Instead of festivals, we now celebrate these things every Sunday on Sunday morning. Gathering are intended for rejoicing and remembering, settling the foundation for the future by keeping the gospel of Jesus at the center of our lives. Renewal through the God's word, decrees, communion, celebrating Jesus' sacrifice in the past. Our forgiveness is present, as well as the future of hope in heaven and fellowship. Holding each other accountable are part of our weekly celebration as God's people. So if you are like me and need help remembering, join the community of faith to keep the gospel of Christ at the forefront of your life. If you do not already have a community of faith to worship, you are invited to any of the chapel services here on post. Come find reasons to celebrate. As you know, I have prayers being needed all over the world. I touched base with Fort Campbell last weekend, which is why resulted in Mother Nature doing white little sprinkles of nice snow blizzard falling the same day. I got stuck in there. I was stuck between two truck drivers, squared away grandfather juniors who were looking out for me as I was looking out for their rigs. Well, obviously wasn't going anywhere anytime soon. Well, at least 24 hours in my son's car. You know, I said some prayers, sat there a while for a square army chief, and took a nap like everybody else, squared away. Right there in Clarksville. It was one mean storm because every exit following that same day was blocked off for miles. Most of us who were square had to go turn around from all the way reaching Elizabethtown and had to turn around and come all the way back just to find another route to get to Elizabethtown, Fort Knox, and everything else north. Pace to plan ahead and count your blessings. At least you're still alive, still warm. I mean, honestly, if a guy's willing to do that, he's worthy of friendship. Especially caring for all of you over there and everybody else around the world. I mean, look what that guy went through on a cross for us. If he can go through a beating like that, he's worthy of opening your heart and mind to. Amen. God bless y'all all over the world in the military uniform. Remember, that is just not a uniform you put on every morning. That is a uniform that many have sacrificed before you in bloodshed, which is a good reason why you get your hind parts out of the car or wherever you are and salute that flag exactly 5 p.m. Someone just died, think about it. Just died your age. Just so you can drive places and not get shot at for reading the wrong religion, wrong Bible, wrong anything. Peace is better than the other word. Most nation leaders agree because it's true. The principle and meaning behind it is very true. There are people in the ground right now who deserve to hear this voice, knowing, hoping to God, their loved ones who hope in God, to God, praying every night that their memories, their legacies don't go forgotten. Not on my watch, ma'am, sir. You can count your hind parts on that, especially to Danny's dad. Danny can look forward to knowing that Danny's dad will always be remembered. One day my son will wake up reading a nice little book, train station book, and ask, "Who's that?" And I'll sit there and explain to him, "Hey, that's a memory of Danny's father right there. God bless you, ma'am. And little Danny right there, watching this channel. And every other kid whose father or mom was killed in the line of duty, trying to give a gift of peace and everything else this world needs every day of your life. The rest assured, their memories, their legacies, not just those you pray upon at night, hoping that they hear you, because I'll make sure they hear them. Don't go unanswered. As long as I'm standing, you always got my prayers, my support. I say the same thing driving by Kentucky's resting memorial area. Everybody from World War I to Vietnam gave their lives on the line of duty. They're all President's Day, Memorial Day, we don't just watch movies honoring the living, we honor the dead as much as the living. So their sacrifices may not be forgotten in vain. Some of our forefathers bestowed upon us that made the United States where it is now, especially Abraham Lincoln and Abraham Museum stationed here in Kentucky. Moving right along here at Fort Knox, living here in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Let's see here. I'm gonna read. Well, no. Snow days provide unique family time. At the time I thought it was a good idea. At the time I thought it would be fun. At the time I thought it would make me look like Mother of the Year. Yes, at the time my brain must have been frozen when I had the bright idea to allow our teenage daughters Anna and Lily to invite friends to a snow day. Lisa Smith, Molinari, Navy wife, mom, and author. Invite friends to a snow day slumber party because it didn't exactly turn out as I envisioned. My husband picked up our excited daughters and their friends from school after early dismissal while I was at home frantically vacuuming our military housing in hopes that no one would notice that I have dusted since Truman signed the Marshall Plan. Upstairs, while sucking Dusty Bunny and a paperclip from a corner, I heard them. The back door burst open with an uproar of giggles. Backpacks stomped on our government-issued living room floor, and I heard the suction breaking sound of our refrigerator door opening. Our daughters and their friends swarmed the house like marauding bees, buzzing with excitement, from room to room until finally settling in Lily's bedroom to post the first mini slumber party selfies and Snapchats. Instinct told me to hide in my room for the next 2 days, communicating with my husband via cell phone to bring me wine, Pringles, and People magazine. But if I wanted these teenagers to think I was a cool mom, I knew I couldn't cower in fear. I checked myself in the mirror. Okay, Trinity, sweater and some decent boots. At least I'm looking the part. Took deep breath. They're teenagers, not blood-sucking zombies, right? And entered the fray. Here goes nothing. Leaning incontinently, the door jamb I interrupted. The group traipsed over Lily's bed. Hey, girls, how's it going? She asked, sensing my pathetic need for recognition. Anna shot me an oh brother look, but her friends flashed genuine smiles. So far, so good. Later in the kitchen, I knew that a cool mom would create a Pinterest-worthy slumber party there like Euro-Asian fusion organic kebabs. Or something, however, the best I could muster was turkey noodle soup and grilled cheese sandwiches. Mercifully, the girls held the low-brow buffet as the perfect blizzard meal, and my reputation was spared, despite the fact that my mental stability depends on heavily on my nighted couch time, and my husband and I relinquished the entire first floor of the house to gaggling, so they could splatter brownie mix all over the kitchen like popcorn bags on fire. Into the microwave charts, expensive movies on our Netflix account, make more noise than a herd of stampeding wild beasts. The next morning, while silently suffering anxiety, or making the perfect chocolate chip pancakes, oh Lord, please don't let me burn them. This time I had noticed that our house had turned into a combat zone strewn with dishes, socks, bendy straws, blankets, popcorn, sweatshirts, soda cans, cell phones, and lip gloss. Thankfully, the group went sledding after breakfast, giving me time to wash the dishes, tidy the house, and take a shower towel, drying my hair in my bedroom. I breathed a huge sigh of relief. I think I'm a cool mom after all, I thought, sipping my coffee. I reached out to separate the blinds, hoping to catch a heartwarming glimpse of the girls sledding in our snowy courier and I-spacey neighborhood. Oh, good God. I spluttered coffee shooting from my nose. Apparently sledding is not thrilling enough. Apparently it is more fun to jump off our garage into a snowbank. Apparently this experience is even better if you film the stunts and upload clips to social media for all your friends. And unfortunately, their parents see you driving the girls home in our salted splattered minivan. That afternoon I chuckled at myself for trying so hard to be a cool mom and he realized that I should just be thankful I was returning the girls home with no apparent injuries and not even a few minor hot chocolate burns and a bit of sleep deprivation. Despite all, the motherhood is truly rewarding, I thought while looking out the winter wonderland, and then I made a mental note to update your liability insurance. Yes, that is my daughter with the scuba mask. By Lisa Smith Maloney, native white mom and author. Meatandpotatoeslive.com. God bless her and her family. And her husband deployed. Based on experiences while undergoing through snowstorms. Now y'all know the basic necessities for combating any kind of weather prediction. It helps to have emergency supplies in homes, batteries, flashlight, cards, poker table, even a mobile Xbox might come in handy once in a while. Radio with batteries, food to last for a whole week, water, gallon water, especially, and hopes and prayers and good Lord's Bible. The power comes back on, and you're good to go. Stay warm, most of all, important. Don't get too sleepy. Watch your health. That's what your folks would want. Also, don't lose faith with your local pediatric medicine stuff and everything else. Remember, emergency kit, football, baseball can wait. Kids come first. That's what DVR was invented for. Got that? Okay, good. That's coming from a dad who puts his son before anything else. And beer. I mean, I'm not much of a drinker, and sure as heck don't smoke. Don't hardly do anything but stay home and be supportive of everything else. My job is caring for all of you out there and making sure y'all don't kill yourselves. That's my job. People ask, what's his job? I give back to the community. I donate to Red Cross. I sing with the church choir. Oh, wait, he's a full-time dad and he's single. Bachelor, living at a nice big old pad in Elizabethtown, Kentucky. Obviously, supporting everybody else. That's his job, doing the good Lord's work. As I said before, people call me the next Martin Luther King Jr. The new JFK. Somebody who leads by example and treats people with dignity. You could be in a wheelchair, mopping floors, and I'll still talk to you. You could be a 90-year-old senior citizen walking to KFC. I'll still open the door for you and treat you as family. That's the kind of person I am. It's always a good conversations I like talking about and meeting folks and meeting and greeting, knowing people for who they are, not what they have. You could be a millionaire, it'd be meaningless. Friendship is something you cannot buy. It's worth investing in. Hence, most all the organizations, Red Cross, UNICEF, USO, many other organizations, Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. that you can take part in donating your doggy dollar tax dollars after filing your income tax returns too. That way you get a tax deductible to go along with the filing. I did that so many times while you guys are doing your tax deductions, especially those with kids. Donate to good charity. St. Jude, God bless them. Cosair.org, God bless them too. Being somebody who supports foster care, the idea of helping kids who need a parent find ones worthy of them in their friendship. Everybody else. Breast cancer awareness, being an advocate, hopes to lead to a miracle cure. All kinds of organizations, charities, you name it, I support, even right down to Sesame Street, NASA, and every other organization. Fort Knox Scrapbook. Women of the Army hostess in the library and service at Fort Knox gathered for a meal. During World War II, these women operated service clubs and libraries on post, where soldiers could visit and relax in an informal atmosphere. In addition, the hostess and librarians helped organize dances and musical programs, sports, and other special events to maintain the morale of thousands of soldiers stationed at training at Fort Knox after the war. Army's hostess and librarian service expanded their mission as Army Special Services to include crafts and entertainment. Ain't that a pretty photo? God bless these ladies. World War II veterans. They'll take part in keeping World War II going during that time. History in the making. God bless them all and all of you out there. Being a natural born photographer, somebody who likes watching NASCAR like myself, WWF Raw, UFC, what places, communities. Carrying on. See here, what's going on around town? 2015 Festival Marathon schedule March 23rd, April 25th. It can't be hard to determine which half marathon you want to run in the spring to make it easier. Run the Bluegrass Half Marathon in Lexington and the Kentucky Derby Festival and Mini Marathon in Louisville have teamed up and are encouraging runners to do both. Now you can run the Piscataway Horse Farms of Lexington, including Donnemar Farm, Stone Street Farm, Keeneland, and all the great urban attractions in Louisville, such as Louisville Slugger, the University of Louisville Campus, Churchill, Downs, and more. In its 42nd year, the mini marathon attracts more than 12,000 entrants each year and is ranked among the nation's top 100 races by USA Track and Field. In total, you'll cover 26.2 miles in Kentucky. Run the Bluegrass Half Marathon is March 28th in Lexington, and the Kentucky Derby Mini Marathon is April 25th in Louisville. But there is not all the racing offered on April 25th in the festivities leading up to the May second run for the Roses. The Kentucky Derby Festival's marathon features runners from all 50 states and several foreign countries who compete annually. The marathon, which debuted in 2002, draws nearly 2,000 entrants. If you want something a little more challenging than the mini go for the full 26.2 miles, visit http://bit.ly/1GHIGEV for more information about the Kentucky Half Classic, or go to for more about the Kentucky Derby Festival Marathon and Mini Marathon. All that real close, that way you can see the website. There you go. Anyway, kids celebrate Dr. Seuss' birthday with books. Lieutenant Colonel Rhonda Winder, 84th Training Command Deputy Surgeon, reads a Dr. Seuss children's storybook at Woodland Elementary School. God bless you. In Radcliffe, Kentucky, during National Education Association read across America to celebrate Dr. Seuss, one of my favorite authors right here. Birthday March 2nd, was among several soldiers who participated in the event at Woodland and Meadowview Elementary School in Radcliffe. God bless you. Keeping in mind the education and alignment of children everywhere. Military desegregation gave advantages to all members by Katrina Francis, senior staff writer. It's no secret that at times race relations in the last 100 years have been tumultuous in the United States because all races and ethnicities weren't treated equally. But in the midst of all this turmoil, minorities continued to raise their right hand and serve in the military. Serving his country was a no-brainer for retired Master Sergeant Joe Williams because his family has a long tradition of serving. In fact, his family has more than 700 years of military service, starting with his great-grandfather, a survivor of the Fort Pillow, Tennessee massacre who fought in the Civil War. His grandmother's brother was killed while serving in the Navy. During the Civil War, 4 cousins served and fought in World War I, and 12 cousins served and fought in World War II. Although President Harry S. Truman integrated the military in 1948, it would take about 6 years before it was completely integrated. Williams said he joined the Army because its environment fostered equality, and there wasn't a separate but equal mindset, which was a battle for African Americans in their day-to-day lives. The military was the best out of me for Williams' segregation, and all the other bad things were going on. And I realized from my time to time in reserve that as long as you were on the installation, things were good. Another advantage to being in the Army, Williams said, was health care. He said if he or his wife got sick, they could not only afford a doctor, but they all also had doctors who would see them. Additionally, Williams added he felt it was vital to get his children out of the segregated school system, and a military installation offered such opportunities, but differences between the military and civilian communities could be seen immediately outside of the installation gates. When William went to basic training at Fort Benning, Georgia, he said they didn't go downtown because they were told that best things to do is not go downtown Columbus, Georgia. Soldiers were also told once you got leave, the best thing to do was go straight through Georgia and Alabama. When you put in for a passive leave, you had to be counseled because there were certain places you couldn't stop, explained Williams. Other parts of society had issues with Preston's skin. Williams said one of the things taught when a soldier entered the Army is you don't see nothing but green. I had a platoon sergeant from Georgia, and his words were, you don't see nothing but green, that's also nothing else. Williams recalled about his former platoon sergeant, and if you think you can get in the Army and don't see green, you have a thing coming. If you think that way, you have to deal with me. One thing he taught us in the Army didn't have colors. During Williams' time in the Army, he seen various changes, such as African Americans being promoted to the senior ranks. He recalled when Congresswoman Shirley Chisholm went to Vietnam and visited a unit which was predominantly black. She wondered why she was looked at the senior ranks, and it was almost all white. 28% of the soldiers on the line were black. We only made up 10% of the population of the U.S. She said if 28% are black online, then 28% will be senior NCOs that brought on the picture being sent to the promotion board. She wanted to make sure whatever percentage of black in the Army in online news, that would be an percentage of black seniors and NCOs serving in the Army provides Williams with an opportunity to have friends of different backgrounds. The Army taught me how to accept it. Other people, he said, before I couldn't say it. I had friends, but the Army put me in a position to call someone of another race a friend and I have dinner with them. Williams recalled meeting George Inglis about 43 years ago at Preacher Chapel. The two began conversing, and Williams began to feel like he had known Ingalls all his life. This is a guy you can meet. It doesn't matter if you're white, black, blue, or brown. He's the same all the time, explained Williams. All the people at the chapel are like one big family. You don't feel anonymously racism or prejudice. It's amazing how things work like that. Williams joined because he wanted total equality, while Earl Lenz joined because he wanted to provide for his family. After graduating from Fort Knox High School in 1976, Lenz attended Morehead State University in Morehead, Kentucky, but things changed during his sophomore year of college. He became a father and needed to support his child. So he followed his father's footsteps and joined the Army, Lenz said, and he didn't have any problems adjusting to the Army's regiment because he was a cadet in JROTC and was used to physical training and marching. After basic and advanced intervals training, Lennon's first duty station was Fort Stewart, Georgia, after which he went to South Korea. His final assignment in the Army by the line civilian was short-lived because after 3 months of being civilian, he rejoined the Army. Joining again meant another stint in South Korea, which to Lenz was preferred over being in the United States, even though it was 1981. And many believe racism at home was a thing of the past, Lenz said. The Koreans didn't. We looked out for each other, and you will lay your life on the line for the man next to you, no matter the color of his skin, Erlen. As retired Master Sergeant Joe Williams in the photo right there. God bless him. And Lieutenant Colonel Claudia Pritchard Allen. Right there. While stationed in South Carolina, didn't have a typical job like the others. He was stationed on the demilitarized zone every 3 months. He had the responsibility of changing the telephone that was on the side of the North Korea GSA Joint Security Area was a volunteer unit. He said the likelihood of survival was zero. I went to a point and a North Korean soldier would take me across and I would check the radio. He added that sometimes American and North Korean delegates would meet when the North Korea attempted to infiltrate into South Korea. North Korea would admit they were sending spies over Lennon said. Although Lennon's liked being in South Korea, he recalled an incident when he missed curfew, which would prove to be a valuable lesson. We had a midnight curfew. He said, I was on the bus and ROK Republic of Korea Armed Forces soldiers pulled us off the bus at Gump. I made sure I never missed that last bus again. Even though Lenz was stationed on the DMZ and they were always on high alert, he didn't mind being there. In fact, he liked being there. When I was overseas, I felt like I had a sense of purpose, Lenz said. I didn't like stateside duty. It was like you had no function. I liked Korea because we had a mission there. I could see the enemy in it. It was nice to Lenz was also quick to pay homage and honor those soldiers who went before him. The soldiers from World War II, Vietnam made it easier for me, he said, although Lenz only served for 6 years. The things he learned in the Army became lifelong lessons since he's been out of the military. He said people are always telling him he's too strict to hardcore and to stop acting like a soldier. I expect things to be carried out a certain way. He said, I still have those qualities within me. I still do things a certain way. Lenz said he has no regrets about being in the military. In fact, when 9/11 happened, he called a recruiter to see if they were accepting veterans. I wanted to protect home, he said, about rejoining the military for a possible third time. He noted that being in the military provided soldiers with a sense of pride and looking out for your battle buddy. We looked out for each other, and you will lay your life on the line for the next man next to you, no matter the color of his skin. Lynn said that there was racism because when it came to the battle, we were all wore the same green, but it was a sense of brotherhood. By the time the first Gulf War happened, society and the military were about the same point with regard to race relations. Lieutenant Colonel Claudia Pritchard Allen, the Army Chief of Staff for Physical Disability, was able to ride that wave of change towards senior leader positions in a career development. She joined the Army Reserve in 1989 and enlisted soldiers to take advantage of the Student Loan Repayment Program. After attending college, her main motivation she said was let me see how far I can take this. Let me see how well I can do with this. I had seen so many senior leaders who were African American females. I said I wanted to be where they are now. While in ROTC at the South Carolina State University in Orangeburg, she was the first African American cadet to become the brigade commander. I'm progressing, checking the block on getting my degree, check the block on traveling, checking the block on saving the account, building my portfolio. On my account, so why not stay in? She said, looking on the outside, it was great out there. But this was a challenge for me, and I enjoyed that challenge. I have a better way to mentor soldiers. Pritchard Allen met a captain who motivated her to continue giving back to others. He showed her that not only is she an officer, but she was also a soldier. I had the most respect for him, Pritchard Allen said. It was just female mentors. It was male mentors too. I had a couple of wife counterparts who really saw something in me and said, hey, let me pull you up under my wing and teach you. Because you are the one that's a go-getter. Getters, you will get in the dirt with your soldiers. You don't mind letting them know you will break a sweat. But on the same token, you will come back and say, hey, let me tell you how we can do this the best way. While stationed at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, she discovered ROCKS, Incorporated Nonprofit Organization, a modern officer mentoring organization. They had said it was their responsibility to pull their guys up and start talking to them and tell them that their need to become aware of to be good leaders, said Pritchard Allen. As I started getting more into understanding what the mission was, that was the motivation for mentoring. First time I got pulled in by a number of officers who said, hey, this is what rights look like. We will help guide you to where you need to be successful. We will give you some honest truth, and we are going to pull you in and say, hey, you're messing up. Pritchard Allen said she didn't receive that from her counterparts because everything is about competing and progressing throughout an officer's career. From the initial encounter with ROCKS, Pritchard Allen has been a part of the organization for more than 20 years. The organization helps all nationalities because it's about becoming an officer with character, discipline, and leading junior officers. She added that her life had been strengthened by the Army because it gave her the direction on how to impact others. Also, she gave her the desire to show others how to be squared away, professional, and self-confident. The military gave me a goal, she said, but the short-term goal was education. The long-term was to be successful. There was just so many tangible things I could get my hands on. As I was doing that, military kept motivating me, and it was like what are you going to do for us? You got to get back and teach all those junior soldiers, and having that same mindset and motivate them to do it. Now, anything anybody knows in the right mind, not just these two soldiers, that if you put your heart and your mind in the right place, you can do anything. The only person stopping you is you, much like quicksand. You get the feeling quicksand, can't move, can't breathe. It's time for change, for the better, not for the worse. If you want you to better your life, you gotta go out there and get it, as these two soldiers showed. God bless you, Vietnam veterans and everybody else serving, deployed, those who served. And remember, no journey is ever shared alone. I'm there for you every step of the way. Granted, I don't know all the answers, but we'll get through them together. That's what a friend is for. Again, if you're looking for a job, some kind of inspiration, rewind back those videos will keep you going in the right direction. Or you can search on this toolbar right here, jobs, it'll pull up. There's always something being added every day, every hour, every week to help you all out. You know, granted, a lot of this stuff I had to do on my own when I was your age or in your booth. Trust me, it wasn't easy, and it sure as heck wasn't hard either. It's a journey, a stepping stone. Military is not the end of the road, it's the beginning, not an end. I'll tell you that to your face. For somebody who shows up at retirement ceremonies, burials, works, even graduations. Remember that God is there for you whether you know it or not. Care Bear cares all the way across, all over the world. If you see something, know something, remember, a real friend acts, not just sits there. There is a zero tolerance policy for drugs on base or anywhere near an installation, including marijuana. Marijuana is not tolerated. It's bad for you. Even generic, even Medicaid, distributed medicine. Stuff's bad for you. You see something, you need to report that person. They are not a friend. A friend does not hurt friends. Even second degree inhaling is worse than smoking that stuff. Next door to our family, you didn't even think about that taller before you lit that stuff up. Regardless, It's bad for you. You look it up online, antimarijuana.com. They'll show you a reason, 1,000 reasons why marijuana, much as smoking, is bad for you. Even inhaling it. Now, those people next to you that raised you and invested so much money in you and college and everything didn't want you to throw your life away because of drugs. I'm that kind of friend to tell you that to your face. You could have spent that on a cruise instead of a lifetime term in prison. Which would you rather have? Wake the heck up. Good health, a good career, good life, or a dark road nobody can follow except pray for you? I think someone's going to choose option A, a better life, much better. Think about those that love you, those that care for you. And the last thing they want to do is bury you 6 feet under because you thought that was the answer to all your problems. Wrong. Time you wake up, you don't just watch this stuff on Forrest Gump. God bless all them actresses. Again, preventing suicide. You see something, seeing somebody depressed, feeling down, new in town, even children. I'm against bullying, by the way, especially at schools. You see hazing, you need to stand up for them and say something on their behalf, especially when their parents aren't around. Tell your teacher, hey, someone's harassing that kid over there. Can you put a stop to it? Okay, good. Parents would appreciate it when they're around, especially. Much love to you kids from a dear old dad right here. You dogs. KentuckySuicidePrevention.org. Major hotline right there for those non-military. Also, trying to help support military, keep military welfare going, not just through ACS and everybody else I support. If you see something, call this number, 1-800-273-8255. Press 1, talk. Those people are loved ones, family members, people online, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They are there for you, not just counselors. Let's go. More on. Say that 9 times backwards. Gotcha there. All that I just read. Not just want to help. No, most folks will tell you that soldering outside in the rain, snow, blizzard, stuck between traffic, forest help. That wouldn't roll over too well with dear grandmother up there and other grandmother and so forth. All the way back to Romans. Not out for his help because he cares about you. He might not know you from Adam, regardless. I care about you. You could be a truck driver done past 2 weeks without sleep, trying to get a load dropped off somewhere on time, scheduled, grab another truckload. That's not the point. He cares about you. Otherwise, we'd be looking out for your rig while you're sitting there taking a nap because it's snowing. You can't go more than 5 feet in front of you because you can't see where you're going. God bless you. Rely on that trusty little GPS machine. Only see it die out when you turn the key and the truck off. God bless you all out there trying to keep things going, keeping America going in the world. It's not easy, but someone's got to do it. Moving right along. Health advice. Seasons change, so does your health. Take vitamins, but not on an empty stomach. Being in the medical field for so long, I do it backwards. Don't take vitamins on an empty stomach. Children need vitamins, which is why they take it with food, hence the food part. Eat something before taking vitamins. Work out at the gym. Stay fit. How else are you going to pass your PT test? Oh, you got one coming up. Don't you just love them PTs at 4 in the morning? Calling us retirees don't miss those days. My way of supporting that kind of department is sitting there and drinking a nice lemonade while you're running a 9 more miles. Eventually, sweat away. That's for a certain similar, but I can bet you old age. Keep going, Pratt. You'll get there in 20 miles for you. You're special. You gotta have 20 extra miles. My bad. Eventually get there. Well, dear bachelor dad, tells it like it is. You all stay warm. Remember to watch your health. Goes into fixing cars, not just watching the new latest, soon to be released, Fast and Furious, in memory of Paul Walker and everybody else squared away friends. Do check them out. Their latest preview, it blows your mind, especially Vin Diesel's stunts. And or read Street Scene magazine. What better way to learn how to fix your own car, even classic cars, those that are into classic cars. Street Scene. Do check out that movie when it comes out. God bless y'all. Stay positive out there. Otherwise, what good are you to anybody else if you're not watching your own? Much love right here at home. Also, those who want to write correspondence letters, postal via email, you can reach me on Facebook or direct. Here in my home, my big old bachelor pad. Especially you kids who like writing postal letters. 328 Helm Street, Elizabethtown, Kentucky, 42701. Much love. Also, same right here, bachelor pad that I have Saturday night Bible study for those from 7 p.m. to 9. Granted, it takes some people 2 hours just to commute back and forth in certain places near Kentucky. I can understand travel life, the whole situation. But just get here safely, regardless if it's downpour and rain. That's all I want. I don't expect you to rush here, and to miss out. That's not it. I want you to get here safely. Then pull up and be like, okay, I'm here finally. Thank God. That goes without saying. That's the kind of friend I am. If there's a snowstorm, well, I hope to God you brought your sleeping bag, your blanket, you're good to go. Get some kind of clothes, emergency relief, etc., etc. You'll be alright. Especially those who don't have a shovel their way out. Pays to plan ahead. Much love. Y'all stay positive out there. Hang in there. Remember, you're providing the gift of peace wearing that uniform. And freedom is not free. It comes with a price. Those who wore that uniform before you will tell you that to your face. Some of them paid the ultimate price, their very lives. Live your dreams. Never lose faith with them. Sooner or later, you're going to want to go to college, new career path, what have you. Effective time management, write them down, things you want to do in 5 years from now, and so forth. Believe in yourself as God has. God is there for you whether you know it or not. An open heart, an open mind. Much love here at home.